Okay, so we should be live now. So welcome everyone. Sorry about the technical issues. We literally had Hannah's sound right until the minute before 5, and then it decided to play up. So yeah, we now have Hannah. So Hannah, hello. Would you like to
Hi.
introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Hannah. I'm 20 and I have PKU.
Does it sound again? It sounds like some sort of like admission. Like
Yeah.
I have this. I have this. So
Yeah.
do you want to tell us where you're based, like in the
Yeah,
world?
so I live in South London. Um, I'm at home currently from uni, so I'm on summer holidays basically. And I go to uni at Birmingham University. So yeah.
How south is South London?
Within the M25, like just sort of South Croydon area.
I will nod as if I know the boroughs of London, which I do a bit, but not entirely. As long as it's within the M25, then I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, it is.
that still classes as London, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and what do you study at University of Birmingham?
Psychology. I studied at Birmingham.
And why did you choose psychology?
Good question. I did psychology at A level, and I really liked it, and I was quite good at it, and I just thought it would be the best. It gives me quite a lot of options once I graduate as well. So I thought it was a interesting and good topic to do. So yeah.
And how is you're coming up to your final year now, I think.
Yeah, so I've just finished second year and I'll be going into third year end of September.
And I guess just like what's your overall general thought? What's your perception of the condition of PKU? What's your overall thoughts about it? What do you?
I think I don't think there's anything necessarily particularly like bad about it. Like I've always been quite tried to stay quite positive about it, and my family's always been really good at finding, like, when we sit down and have a meal, I always have something similar. Like it's not a completely different meal, it's always just adapted and made suitable for me. And like eating out, especially now that I'm older, and when I was younger, eating out was a lot harder, but now there's so many more options for us. All the vegan menus and stuff are quite suitable for PKU, so it's definitely got better as I've got older, and I think I deal with it better now as an adult than I did when I was younger. But I've never, you know, been that upset about it.
Cool. What's your go-to getting out meal then? What's your
Oh, well, sweet potato, I think, or sweet potato fries is a massive thing for me. Um, Sometimes places will do jackfruit, which I also like. Near me at uni, there's a pub that has like a vegan menu, and they use Violife cheese, and it says that on their menu. So I've had like jackfruit dishes from there, and cheesy chips, but with the Violife cheese and stuff like that. So yeah, I think definitely sweet potato is a big thing for me.
do you have people looking at you in a weird way for how much sweet potato you have?
Um, yes, well, sometimes, like, if I order sweet potato fries, some people, will be like, why would you have sweet potato over normal potato? Like, I think a lot of people think that like normal potato is like the superior chip sort of thing, and
Oh,
sweet potato is a bit. But I think it's the other way around.
for me,
Yeah,
it's the superior chip. It's
yeah,
probably more because I can have as much as I want
yeah,
of
exactly,
it.
exactly.
But yeah, I have multiple portions. So when there's a side, I have like
Yeah,
2 or 3 sides to make up a meal.
yeah, that's what I do as
Yeah, and I
well.
get
Yeah.
odd looks from
Yeah. I
friends.
so and when I order, I sometimes, I say, oh, just by the way, I'm going to be ordering like a couple of like quite a few of the side dishes, and I can tell the waiter or the waitress is a bit like, That's an interesting meal. Why wouldn't you have one of the, the big main dishes? But yeah,
I've had comments from people going like,
yeah,
and I'll go, if there's enough sides, it makes a main, and they're like, interesting logic.
Yeah.
I've never thought
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, but I just want sweet potato fries. So
yeah,
it's so good that they're quite readily available now on menus, because
Yeah.
it means that I can eat out without, needing exchanges. But you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard to find anything free from exchange with
Yeah.
eating hot food anyway. So what exchanges are you on? What's your...
I'm on 7
Ooh.
exchanges.
And how do you break that down typically?
It varies. Like sometimes, depending on what I'm having in the evening, if I know I'm having quite a high protein meal in the evening, then I'll have less during the day. But normally it's like 3, 2, and then 2, or 2, 2, 3. It varies really, whatever I'm having that day.
And have you had a 7 exchange blowout of everything all together in one, or do you normally quite split it?
I normally split it. Yeah, I've never had all my exchanges in one go, I don't think. Have you?
I have with chips. So I've
7 exchanges worth of chips would be quite a lot of chips.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of sides. I can tell you, and the mountain. Yeah, you just look like you've got obesity problems. To be fair, if you have that, but I do it when I go on trips abroad. So when I run university trips, I have bread in the morning to make sure that I've got all my exchanges, and then I kind of just use as many exchanges as I can in an eating out sense. And sometimes I reach my what was 8.5 then, but sometimes I don't. So then I have little snacks at the hotel just to top myself up.
Yeah.
What's your favourite restaurants? What are your recommendations? This is from Anita, so...
I've eaten at Pizza Express and had the gluten-free pizza base before, and that's really good. And they have the vegan menu, so they have some like vegetarian options. So I like that. Where else? I do like Wagamama's. They do rice noodles there, which I can't remember what it's called. I think yakisoba or something. And it's just like basically stir-fried veg with some rice noodles, which is really nice.
Have you tried Wagamama like delivered?
No, I'm a bit scared to.
Why?
I'm just scared that, I don't know, like their dishes seem quite hard things to like deliver, and also I feel like it might, by the time it gets to you, it'd be cold. And I mean, I probably would order it and pick it up. I think that would be better.
I think that's probably
I've never tried.
I know that you can. I've never tried it, but I know that you can.
I know you can. Yeah.
But I think Pizza Express is a good shout. I think like they have a wide range of toppings too that you can have on the base too.
Yeah. And then before the gluten-free pizza bases, we used to take one of my pizza base in and say kind of have tomato sauce and some peppers and olives, and they're always quite good with that.
Did they charge you full price?
Sometimes, but sometimes they didn't.
Yeah, I had that.
I don't know. It just was, every time we went, it was different. So
I've been charged for...
It was a bit cheeky to charge full price.
Yeah, I felt like that.
Because you're just getting the toppings. Like, you're not even... and also I'd bring my own cheese. So the only thing I'd be having would be like the tomato sauce and the veg and stuff.
I can now imagine your face just going, No, don't charge me full price. So I've been charged, I think, individual toppings. So like they've charged me like 50p for peppers or 50p for mushrooms. And it just makes the bill quite complicated, but it's cheaper. So that's
it does. Yeah, exactly.
So apparently your mum says that what's for dinner is the first thing Hannah asks in the morning. So you've been called out there. So, but it is like, and all jokes aside, it is that planning though, isn't it? It is that
Yeah.
what you will use in the morning affects what you can have in the evening, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
And if I know mum's cooking something or dad is, sometimes I want to know because it will affect what I have for breakfast and what I have for lunch, exchanges
yeah,
wise.
yeah,
Because if I know that I'm going to have a really high protein meal in the evening, I won't want to eat any exchanges like during the day. But if I'm having a free meal, then obviously I can have more protein at breakfast and lunch.
So how would you top up your protein at breakfast? What additions would you have?
Well, sometimes if I know I'm having a low protein dinner for breakfast, I do quite like having porridge and I use almond milk, the Alpro, which is like 0.4 per 100 ml, so it's really low in protein. So I have that quite a lot if I know I'm having a low, because porridge you can't have much for like, I think 3 exchanges is not many grams. So
Yeah,
but if I know,
yeah, it's not much, is it? Yeah.
no, so I only really have that when I know that I can have quite a lot of exchanges of it. Otherwise, I'll have Genius bread, like toast or cereal.
Yeah, I find it interesting, isn't it, with the upgrading idea of
Yeah.
like, if I've got more exchanges, I'll add this or add it. It's a weird thought process that we have to have in a sense.
Yeah.
So quite a deep question is what are your thoughts? Obviously, maternal PKU is quite different to, say, a male perspective on PKU. So what in terms of with kids and stuff, have you had like, obviously you're 20, so don't be wishing your life away. Your mum will be happy for me to say that.
Yeah.
But like, obviously you're going to have those sorts of talks and that sort of thing. Has it ever been a thing that puts you off or not?
I don't think so. I think I wouldn't have an issue, like if my child had PKU, I think, I don't think there's anything bad about that. Yeah, it's not the ideal situation. It's not ideal, but I know that you have PKU and still do as like all the things you want to do, and and in a way, it would be good because I could make a meal for me and a meal for it would be easier. Like I keep saying, if I'm cooking for my family, I can't cook. I just don't want to touch meat or like fish or anything like that. So it would be quite good because then I could just stick with cooking veg and not have to worry about any of the the meats and stuff.
No,
so yeah,
I'm quite similar. I'm like actually it'd be easier that I don't have to make multiple meals. Well, eventually once they get to an age that they can have the meals that we're going to have. But like it's that I think I've had with previous like partners that have ate meat, like a ban in the household of meat because I'm just like I don't want to be around it. So it's like I
just can't cook it, and like chicken and just no. I don't really want to go anywhere near it.
It just smells for me. It smells nasty. So I'm like, it smells like burning flesh. Why would I want? Why would I want to be around that?
I've said that before, and fish as well. Just it's not a good smell when it's cooking. But
so if anything, for both of us, it would be a bit more. Hey, we can all have weird meals and just have even more prescription stuff in the house. So I guess you stayed at university, so you live.
I live.
You live away. Otherwise, travelling from South London to Birmingham.
Oh God,
would be quite a trek.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I travelled, but that's because the university was a bit more local. But also I was a bit apprehensive about, living away and cooking and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hence why I still do cooking streams now. But how did you find it? How did you 2 years in now? How's it progressed?
I think at first I found it wasn't hard, but at first I was like, what do I cook? I'd cooked the odd thing at home, but I'd never really been a massive cooker.
What was your
baking and stuff?
What was your first year saviour meal then, in the sense what kept? What did you go to uni knowing in cooking skills, and then what have you learned?
Basically, pasta dishes, anything pasta. The most basic meal you could do. But yeah, I have I like making curries. So I make quite a lot of curries, use different spices and different veg and stuff, or like sweet potato or butternut squash or aubergine or stuff like that. I do stir fries quite a lot as well because they're just quick and easy, but they can get quite boring. um, Normally I have like fate sausages. I eat them quite a lot, or the fate burgers. And I have, like some chips with that, or a salad or stuff like that. But I found what's useful, especially second year, is having a lot more frozen food.
Mm-hmm.
So like the fate sausages frozen or the fate burgers, because when you want something quick and you don't have to, spend hours cooking something, that's always good to have in the freezer.
Yeah, because the diet's quite fresh orientated, isn't it? And that for ease, or if we're being honest, being lazy, is it doesn't really lend itself too much sometimes for the diet. So frozen is that kind of like help out, isn't it, in a sense? And I bet you're the envy sometimes of how much food you get coming in to the house for not much money, to be fair, but it's so do you take up a lot of space are you in a house now, I'm guessing, in your second year?
I was in a house in second year, and then in first year I was in halls of residence, and then
so completely different storage facilities, I'm guessing.
I mean, in first year I had boxes under my bed of all my food. So I just come out of my room with like a box of pasta, walk into the kitchen, and which was quite strange. I kept my coolers under my bed as well, and I'd always have a box like in the kitchen that I was using, and then once I finished I'd just get another box out. In second year it was a bit harder because there was less space. Like in halls of residence we had quite a big kitchen.
Okay, it normally works the other way around for some people. And
so I had in the corner, I had just literally piles of my cooler boxes. Which is quite funny.
I bet your housemates loved you.
Yeah, especially when they had to pick it up, and because our house also was quite hard to find for the delivery driver, so a lot of the time I'd get a phone call from him, and it would be a different person each time, and they'd be like, "Where is your house?" No. Like, I can't find it, and sometimes I wouldn't be in the house, so having to give directions when you're not there to help them, to say, "Oh, look, I can see you down the road." I was like on campus, so I'd have to ring my housemate up and say, "Can you just go out to the main road," and sort of wave down the driver to sort of get them to come.
Give me my boxes.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool because obviously, like, you've gone through the process of like moving doctors, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Your university is actually opposite a huge hospital, which isn't too bad, but it is like they're moving doctors, doing that process. And then, do you move back over the summer then and just do the switch?
Well, no, I mean, I'm still at the GP in Birmingham.
You just get them delivered to where you are now.
Get them delivered to my house. I just changed the address, and then they delivered to my home address instead of my. We did have one occasion where the driver turned up at my uni address and I wasn't there.
And you were like, "I'm in South London."
I was like, "Yeah, sorry." I did, because I have, sometimes they just misread it, I think, and they just, it was just automatic. It was like, "Oh, that's where she lives, so we'll go there." But I was like, "I'm not there." So, and no one else was either, because I think it was over Easter.
Yeah, well,
so everyone was at home.
Be there, are they? So.
No one would have answered the door. So.
Wow, that does not sound like a good scenario.
No.
So it's like, where are you? Probably the furthest place that you could be away from. It's not like you're just round the corner.
2.5 hours away.
It's not just round the corner. We have any breakfast inspirations. So like, what do you? So you said you had porridge. Do you venture out of porridge at all?
Yeah, I sometimes have. I like having. I think the cocoa yogurts. I think they're called cocoa. I like having those with some fruit mixed in sometimes in the morning. That's quite nice for like a low protein breakfast, because obviously they're only about one exchange or between half and one exchange of protein.
Have you tried the big ones?
No, I haven't.
Okay. They're,
I always have the small sort of strawberry one or the raspberry flavored one, the little pots.
yeah, they're nice. I think the big ones I think only come in vanilla, so it's a bit
Yeah, like
like
the plain.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I always have to if I've had it before, you have to add fruit into it because
yeah,
otherwise
to
it's just a
make
bit
it
like
taste.
oof.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Um, and then cereal, like Cheerios or something like that. Sometimes for like a quick breakfast. Um, Toast. I have toast.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can get particularly
No.
adventurous with. I have cereal with sultanas and bananas. Banana,
Mm,
not
yeah.
bananas. That would be more bananas than cereal. So yeah, 45 grams of cereal, depending on what the cereal is. So it can be cornflakes. At the moment, I've got some weird peanut butter and chocolate balls that
Mm.
are a bit like Cocoa Pops. But then it comes out with chocolate milk in the middle. I'm like, it's quite a decadent thing. But then
Do you like the taste of peanut butter? Does it taste peanut
I don't
buttery?
know
Like,
because I've never
I
tasted
don't think
peanut butter. So.
I don't think I'd like it.
It's just
So I've
sweet.
never had nuts, so
No, never. So to be fair, they could be lying to me and saying it's peanut butter when it isn't peanut. I don't know. But it's just got the flavouring of it.
yeah,
What else? And I have toast. I have Mavella bread
yeah.
with jam, sort of thing. Takeaway choices. So what do you have from a takeaway?
Um,
And then I'll answer once you've.
I have. If we have a curry, then I'll have like a vegetable curry, um, like I think it's a tikka masala or like bhajis as well, aubergine bhaji. It's just sort of like aubergine and tomatoes and spices and stuff. Um, so curry is always quite a good takeaway to have because there's a few options. Like if you look at the side dishes, there's a few vegetarian options. Um, Sometimes we have like a fish and chips, so I'll just have a weighed amount of chips and then normally have some of my low protein sausages with that. Um, Chinese is a bit harder. I mean, you could there's like sometimes I'll have stir fried mixed veg or sweet and sour veg, and then I'll cook some of my rice to have with it. Um, Anything vegetable based, basically.
I find it. I've done that before with cooking my own rice for the meal.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to have exchange rice because I'm having like exchanges for the thing that's coming. So I'm like, I'm going to make rice, but then I'm looking at my delivery app or Uber Eats app and going, when's it going to come?
When?
Like, when can I put it in the
they
pan?
turn up and you haven't done it.
I know,
Yeah.
and otherwise, if you get it wrong, I don't know what rice you have, but if you get, I have Promin rice, and if you get it wrong, it becomes really starchy.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, I really
Like
need.
gooey and sloppy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I need time.
Yeah.
I need a definite time of when you're coming with this delivery. So,
Yeah.
Indian and Chinese for me are always good.
Yeah.
I have mushroom curry if I'm at a Chinese, just without peas, so I have to state no peas.
Yeah.
Bindi bhaji,
Yeah.
okra stuff because
Yeah,
okra's
okra's
free.
nice.
Aubergine's good. Yeah, I do plaza. Maybe is that how you say it? A thing beginning with D. I've had it before at a curry house. It's quite nice. But yeah, anything tomato based, really. I find I eat really well at Indians.
Yeah, they tend to be the best takeaway, I think.
Yeah, and then anywhere that does sweet potato fries or chips, but the sweet potato fries. Ooh, that is a lot.
That was the clock.
Sweet potato fries never come enough. There's never enough in because the deliveries are always small, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so and then I just weigh whatever comes really, and then But I've tried the cooking rice, matching it with deliveries, and I think I've only got it once. The other times it's like, could you just wait? And I'm just going to do about 5 more minutes,
or just eat half the curry and then have the rice when it's ready,
and then have more rice than curry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a quick thing that you have, like a quick fix for if you get wobbly with hunger So if you're really hungry and you want to have a snack, what do you go for?
I mean, I do like dried fruit. Like, I like cranberries and banana chips and like dried mango and stuff like that. So I might have that as a snack, or if I've got protein, maybe like a cereal bar or something like that.
Yours is
Fruit.
so much more healthy than mine. So much more.
I love fruit, so any type of fruit. Yeah, what else? If I baked something, then maybe like a piece of banana bread, or if I baked some biscuits or something like that. Depends what I've got in, really.
Yeah, I think you can tell that you're swimming and athletics and that sort of stuff. Mine's sweets, so
yeah, no, I do snack on sweets. I do.
If I'm out leaving work and I'm feeling quite hungry and I'm like, I can't make it home. Not make it home.
Yeah.
That sounds really extreme. But like, it's gonna be
starving.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an hour and a half before I get home before I can have any food. I typically just eat sweets, which my dentist will hate me for saying, but is true. And that sugar hit keeps me going until I can give myself something more substantial. But yeah, dried fruit is good. I have dried fruit in the morning, so that's when I tend to have it. People are getting a bit confused with my my cereal because they think I'm actually eating peanut butter. It's not. It's peanut butter flavouring. It's, oh my god. I will put a picture up on my social media about what these cereal. I can't remember the brand, and I'm possibly the furthest away from my kitchen that I could be. So, but it isn't peanut butter. Protein content. 15 grams per one exchange, so it's all right, but it's mainly air. So
but a lot of cereals like that, isn't it? Really, I don't tend to have cereal much because you can't have much.
Yeah, and I just get hungry a couple of hours later. It doesn't fill too much. What's it called? Who thinks PKU cakes are better than normal cakes? Okay. I've never had a normal cake, so PKU cakes are the normal cake for me. So, what else have we got? We apart from your mum, do others cook very decent? How do you encourage them? So how did you get? Was it more necessity with the cooking that you had to get into it, or was it more of like, because obviously moving away you'd have to get into cooking? More than
I think I was sort of just thrown into it and was just like, yeah, I've got to cook for myself now. So I had cooked at home, like I do, especially now. I'd cook a lot more at home now. But before uni, I would cook the odd meal, but never as much as I would do now. But yeah, I think as soon as I got to uni, it was just like, I've just got to cook for myself now, because it's not with a lot of. It's so easy for other students to, get a takeaway or Domino's pizza and stuff like that, which is obviously not an option for me. So I just knew that I would have to cook a lot more than everyone else would. But yeah, it's fine. It's just trying to find variety, I guess, and just changing it up a bit so you don't get bored, which in first year I did. Of the same thing.
And what's it like for you cooking around others? So, like, when you were cooking around your hallmates and your housemates, were they like, oh my god, that looks really pale? Or, like...
Yeah. I mean, they were fine. Like, in first year, everyone was fine, because everyone sort of cooked at different times as well, because everyone had different things going on. So, often you'd be in the kitchen with someone else and someone else would be cooking at the same time. But yeah, they never really, they would just ask the odd question, especially about my supplement to start with. They were very intrigued by that. And
so you have cooler,
cooking,
do you have cooler for your supplement?
Cooler 15s.
All ready made, or do you have powder?
No, I have them ready made. So they're all ready to go.
No wonder you have a lot of boxes.
Yeah. And they're heavy as well, because it's just liquid.
And how many do you have of them a day?
I have four cooler 15s.
So
yeah,
you're on 60 then, and I'm on I'm on 90. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody says I'm always high, like in terms of my protein.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But
I've always been on 60, I think, on coolers. I was on 20, like 3 cooler 20s, but then I found them very filling. Like a cooler 20 was quite a lot to drink in one go, so I thought I'd have like less in one go, but just more often throughout the day, which was easier.
Yeah. So you space them out 3 times then, or 4 times a day?
So I have one after breakfast, one after lunch, and then one sort of late afternoon, and then one after dinner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, really quite easy to maintain, that is, in a sense, because it's the one at a time, isn't it? What else we got? No, so I've actually, my dealings with cooking round with, if I say normal people, non-PKU people, I've had people actually prefer the pasta, which is
my sister,
bizarre.
My younger sister would always say that, and also the low profile crackers.
Yeah.
My sister was obsessed with them. I'd open a box and start eating them myself, and then the next day they're all gone because she's eaten them all.
No, I've had people not buy pasta and just have this. I should probably say this considering I get this on prescription, but they actually just have my pasta. When partners and stuff, we just have an excuse, and I'm like, that saves me money, but also like, why? And they're like, oh, we much prefer the taste. I'm like, okay. Most people are like, I want to have normal pasta, and they're just like, I don't want that. I want your PKU stuff. I'm like, fair enough. Yeah. But if you get it wrong, then they don't want it. So, How do you manage when your housemates are ordering pizza and other takeaways? What do you have to do?
Well, a lot of the time, sometimes we would order different, because on like Deliveroo and stuff, you can sort of choose where you want to get your food from. So someone might get it from one place and someone might get it from another place. So we all sort of get what we want and then just sort of sit together and eat it. Or I've had like with Domino's, I've had I think you can get wedgies at Domino's. So I've had the wedgies and then something frozen from the freezer that I've like pre-cooked. So yeah, it's never been that bad. And like, especially last year when we were in the house, we would do a lot of cooking together. So we do lots of like fajita nights, and one of my other housemates is vegetarian. So she would always eat similar to what I would, and I'd just have, my own low protein wrap instead of like a wheat wrap or something. So we did like quite a lot of cooking together, which is.
And I think that's testament to the open nature of like what you have with your condition, in a sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think I've always found like when I'm either out with colleagues or out with friends, or even when I'm like living or being around close quarters, if they just know about it, they're actually probably more accommodating than you want them to be. In a sense, like that.
Yeah, because I've had occasions when we've ordered something, like we had a Nando's once, or we were trying to choose where to order from, and I've had occasions where they've basically said, we'll go wherever Hannah can eat.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're around people like that, then, you almost feel bad. You're like, guys, no, don't worry. Like, thank you, but where do you guys want to eat? Sort of thing. Because I'm so used to sort of fitting around, like, not other people, but wherever we go. But on occasions, they've been like, so where do you want to eat? And then we'll sort of, because obviously they can have anything. So.
Yeah, I've had that with colleagues where we've ended up walking. I think I was in New York, and we went past loads of eateries because they were too busy trying to find stuff that I could have on the menus. Yeah. And I'm like, look, guys, just take me to a place with chips, and I'm sorted. And they're like, no, we don't want you to just eat chips. We want you to have something else. So we're going past all these places that are like, oh, look at the ribs, look at the steak, look at all this. And I'm like, if you want it that bad, just go in there and I'll have some chips. It's like the guilt complex then transfers to me, like you're saying, and goes oh God, it's just
and then you feel bad. You're like, well, I can eat here, and then you sort of look at them and see if they're making any faces as if to say they don't want to eat there, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, you know, you just pick your place. I'll adapt.
Yeah.
And they're like, really?
Yeah.
I think they pull up with it for a bit. But when I've done, like I said, when I've done trips and you're eating out with them day after day, after like 2 or 3 days, they're like, you just eat chips. What is going on? And I'm like, look, you know I can have it. So they're a bit like, oh, I feel bad. And I'm just like, you don't have to feel bad. It's fine. You have all those plates and it's all good.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's quite funny, I think. And I think as more people have got more allergies, it actually makes us less stand out in a sense. Because I've had people that have been equally as difficult to eat for, like to go out with, because they're like, oh, I'm like nutting allergies, or I've got this, or I've got this, and I'm like, that's far worse than this. So but yeah, so, and travelling wise, where's the best place that you've travelled for PKU? Or just in general, and then the food could be a side thing. So.
I haven't done much travelling yet, but the last place I went to was South Africa, and I was actually quite shocked, not shocked, but I was just surprised at how, you know, there was quite a lot of food out there that I could eat, and you know, places were quite accommodating. Like, I remember going for pizza and they took one of my pizza bases and just did this really good, like, vegetarian pizza with tomato sauce and everything. And lots of, like, barbecued veg as well, which was really nice. And, yeah, like, I remember it being quite easy to sort of, you know, ask for, oh, is it okay if we have this bit, like sort of picking apart the menu and saying, oh, I see you do, you know, tomatoes and stuff over here, and then can we have a bit of that and then a bit of this, and sort of, and they were all fine with it. I've never really had many issues,
isn't it? It's that confidence. So with like just asking, you know, the worst thing they could say is no.
No, and you just sit there with nothing.
Well, or you
that's never really happened.
Well, I had it with not necessarily abroad, but I had it with Pizza Hut, where I took my own base and they refused to cook my own base, and I just walked out. Yeah, and was like, well, they'll just lose.
I've never been to Pizza Hut. No, so.
Well, they used to do your base similar to Pizza Express, but then they were like, health and safety, you can't.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, I just can't eat here then, so I'll go somewhere else. And just...
exactly.
You said about jackfruit in restaurants. What do you have the jackfruit with and stuff? Like, what does it get mixed in with?
I've had like it's been like barbecue pulled jackfruit, and at this pub near where I live at uni, it's like barbecued pulled jackfruit. It's called loaded fries. So you get the chips, and then they put like barbecue pulled jackfruit on top, and then Violife cheese, which is really nice. So yeah, a lot of places, if they do jackfruit, tends to be, sometimes it's in a burger and then you can't necessarily have it because then sometimes it has like chickpeas in or something like that. But when it's just, you know, in barbecue sauce, it's normally suitable.
I think it's growing, isn't it? It's growing in popularity a lot more. So I think it's because we've got going like what restaurants and stuff. I think I see it quite similar to how sweet potato fries were. With like about 5 years ago, barely any places had them, and then slowly it's spread, hasn't it? So
it tends to be I think the independent like pubs and stuff like that will do the odd, rather than a chain. Like, I don't know if I've eaten that jackfruit in a chain restaurant.
Yeah,
I think it's always been.
I've only known them in pubs, independent stuff. Yeah. Because they can be a bit more flexible and a bit more adventurous with the menu, I think. That's probably why. Your mum says that you haven't been to Pizza Hut since you were a baby, as they refused to heat your food, so we walked out. Similar. I've been in the same thing. I guess like, have you always been, so during like school and stuff, were you like really open with the condition? Were you like this weird person that used to eat?
I was like worse when I was younger, especially in primary school. I can't really remember. I think I used to hide my supplement, And I think I did that in secondary school as well, in like the earlier years.
Why was that? Is it
I
like
think
the reaction or maturity of the people around you, or
yeah, and I think I just didn't want the questions. Sometimes I just didn't want the, oh, what's that sort of thing.
yeah,
Does it taste nice? What does it smell like? Can I try it? It's like I don't know. I just didn't want to have to deal with those questions. But now I'm a lot more, especially at uni. I think you just sort of have to, and I'm not like, I don't hide my supplement anymore, sort of thing. I don't, hide behind my bag or whatever when I drink my supplement.
you just look like some
Yeah.
dodgy alcoholic if you do that
Yeah,
instead.
just
So.
like yeah,
I think I've found people have become a lot better the more mature that they get. So
yeah,
I've always had because I have my supplements in the morning, about 4 o'clock, and then the evening. So I've always missed the school gap in a sense
yeah,
with supplements, and I think that's probably not necessarily a conscious thing, but certainly a thing that I didn't want to do differently, to like go, oh, I should have my supplement when I'm at school, sort of thing.
yeah,
Because I think it's like I've always had packed lunches. I've never had like a school meal.
yeah. No, neither.
So that's weird enough sometimes because people have school meals and I'm just there with a packed lunch.
Yeah,
But then the supplement's like an extra addition. But I felt people become more accommodating the more that they get mature.
yeah,
And you get that close-knit group of friends, isn't it, around. But
yeah.
secondary school is tough, though. It is.
Yeah, that was because I'd just rather not have the questions. But now I'm pretty, because it's almost scripted now. When someone asks me, it's just like, so.
You just want a button to just explain.
Yeah, yeah. Or just like a little piece of paper and just hand it to them.
There's a little guide.
But yeah.
Little guide.
Yeah.
No, I feel like they're just like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
And they're like, does it taste nice? No, it
Yeah.
doesn't taste nice. Does it smell
And then they
nice?
smell it.
No, it doesn't
No.
smell nice.
No.
So I put it up to their nose and they're like, oh. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I have to take that, otherwise I'd die. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. Feel for me. Feel.
Yeah.
But they used to look terrible, though. They have got a bit better with the packaging. So,
I mean, when I was at primary school, I used to have the paste. So I used to have a little tub and a spoon.
is that gel?
And it was like the pink. I can't remember what it was called. My mum will know.
Probably it might be called PKU gel, because that was the thing. Was it Vitaflow or not? Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, cannot remember because
Paste
I was so young.
Paste is
It was. Honestly, I can still like. If I think about it, I can almost taste it still.
yeah.
Like it's that
It's
sort
so
of
gritty.
horrible.
It's
yeah,
so gritty. Oh, yeah,
It's gross.
I think your dad's just confirmed it is gel. I
okay.
tried gel when they were testing it to come out, and the grit was.
No.
But now, like, then ready-made comes and it becomes a lot easier, doesn't it? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, my mum's just gone, is it the pink gritty one? Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Gel is just nasty. I don't even know if it still exists.
Neither. I don't know.
We don't need to think about that.
I'm just glad I don't have to have it anymore.
I think it was an age thing, wasn't it? So, what, like, in terms of, when did you go college and sixth form? How was that trip?
Yeah.
Was that a different
Yeah.
place, or was that the same place that you did?
Well, I actually I left school and went to a college, but then ended up moving back to my school and going into the sixth form because I didn't enjoy it at the college.
Ah, okay.
So I wasn't at the college for long, like less than a term. So I pretty much basically stayed at school and just carried on into the sixth form.
And
So yeah,
that consistency is quite used,le, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
So, and then have we got any other questions? I think we had one that was as obviously I think it was kind of, we were talking about maternal before, but like, because you are a female with PKU, maternal PKU, does that with the is your control's quite good as it is, I think, isn't it? So I don't necessarily think
I've always been quite good with keep, because I notice I think I'm very sensitive to when my levels are too high or too low.
What does high level Hannah look like then?
Oh, just very sort of, irritable, and I want to say moody, but it's not moody. It's just not even upset, just not 100%. You know, when you just feel a bit gloomy, and I guess people talk about it. I've never really experienced the fog. I don't think it's been like the, you know, when people talk about the PKU fog, but definitely like more irritable, can't concentrate, tired. Very tired.
Is that stuff that you notice, or is that what other people tell you, in a sense? That's what I always find
I
quite
notice
interesting.
it, but my mum notices it all the time. She'll know. Definitely. If my levels aren't right, or if something's up, she'll know. She can tell.
Yeah, I think it's that external, and that's why I think it's quite useful to keep a support network that's quite consistent. In a sense, I find, like, now I've had friends for multiple years, rather than like at school where you used to go off and on with friends or whatever.
Yeah.
The consistency helps them understand. So I've done, when I've ran what I think is high levels, and my speech starts to go a little bit, like I go a little bit slower in my speech. Basically, I feel like I'm drunk off a night out, in a sense. And I've done voice notes to my friends and gone, this is what I'm like on high levels, so you can know it, in a sense, so then you can pull me up on it, rather than me always have to think it, because when you live in it, it's quite hard to tell the nuance changes, isn't it, in a sense. But yeah, so I've always gone, this is what it's like. I'm going to get myself better, but this is what it's like, sort of thing. And they're just always like, mate, you sound like you've had a night out. And I'm like, yeah. I haven't.
And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'm just lying on my bed. No. What sort of high levels, what's high level for you then? Because obviously everybody's tolerance is different compared to what they run. So what's the level that you want to avoid for you?
Anything above 400, I'd say. Maybe even 350. Like, I've always wanted like lower levels, because it just seems safer to me than being in the, you know, they say it's up to 600, isn't it, I think? Yeah. Which just seems extremely high.
The range of 100 to 600 is a range. That's a huge spectrum range for me. Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think 400 and above for me is the one when I start noticing. And it's that kind of, you want to try and avoid it, but sometimes you can't, and then I just take extra medicine to bring it down, that sort of thing, and just write off the day and come back, sort of thing. So but yeah, we're quite consistent in that sense. But yeah, like, I think it's tough because everybody, I think if you run high levels, then that becomes your norm, in a sense.
And then you don't know the difference.
Yeah, and you don't know what it's going to be like otherwise. And I think that's where sometimes you just got, and sometimes if you drop too quick, it can be a danger too, can it? So Elizabeth has gone, can you do that, take extra medicine? Yep. So if I have high levels, if you take extra medicine, for me it brings it down, but you take it through the night, so to stop it going up high, in a sense. So obviously your highest level of the day, I think, I don't know, Suzanne and Anita might correct me because I'm not a dietitian, but like your highest level is when you wake up, because you haven't had anything to eat and any protein substitute. So for me, I always then, if I have a high level, I put it in about 3-4 o'clock in the morning to just ease off the curves. So then it brings everything naturally down. So So, and then if you're running too low levels, like I've been doing recently, you just have to have more exchanges, which is just crazy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever really had really low levels, so I don't know what that would feel like. Like, I've never really...
I think it's for me, what it's been like is it's been quite similar to high levels, but without the concentration issue. I just fall asleep like that, in a sense, which is not great. It's all right when you're in lockdown because no one notices, but if I was doing a job that required me to teach full time, then it'd be like, whoa, okay. This guy just fell asleep while he's doing a lecture. So, but yeah, for me, it's just sleepiness for the low levels. So,
do you find if you don't have your supplement, you get headaches? Like just short term wise, like during the day, if you
I think mine probably becomes a little bit more extreme because obviously my gapping is quite spaced.
Yeah, there's quite a big gap.
Mine's quite. If that 4 o'clock medicine spreads too far towards evening, then I do start to notice a bit, like concentration wise. But I guess for you, because you've got so many different pillars, sort of thing, it becomes less of an issue, maybe. Or
yeah, it is definitely. But if I do on very, very rare occasions, I've gone out and forgotten to bring my cooler with me, and I've definitely noticed it. It's like I'm gasping for it by the time I get home. It's like I really need it.
I find that when I'm either travelling to places or that sort of thing, and I'm just like, I need to get home and have.
And it's weird how it's not a nice thing, but your body's almost like, I really, really want it, sort of thing.
We have addiction
really
issues. We have addiction issues, Hannah. Yeah. People didn't think PKU was this addictive, but it is. So here's a question: on a night out, do you have your medicine before you go out or afterwards?
Before.
Okay.
But I get home and I do feel like I need another one. It's like, because a lot of the time we'll have, well, I don't always because I've eaten all my exchanges, but we'll go for chips after, and it's almost like I want my cooler when they're all having their chips. I mean, I will have some chips, but then I have the issue of when do I count those exchanges for the next day?
Yeah,
I mean, if it's gone midnight, does that count as tomorrow, like that current day's exchanges, or the day before, sort of thing?
See, I do sleep resets. That's what I do. Okay. But I did for a period of time, mainly because I was a bit greedy. I was like, does it reset? Like around Christmas, you're like, does it reset at midnight? And I'm like, no, I'll stick to the thing of when it sleeps. Otherwise, you just won't get to sleep. It'll just keep resetting. But I do, I always have my medicine after a night out because I'm like, I just couldn't go into the night out. Well, I also get, I don't know if you do, but like issues with if I drink medicine on a empty stomach, I feel ill. I don't know if that happens.
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen to me because my third cooler of the day is like late afternoon. So it's like breakfast, I have one, then lunch, then I have one sort of late afternoon, 5-6 o'clock before dinner. And I'm fine. Like, I don't feel...
Yeah, okay.
But maybe that's because I'm used to it and my body's just got used to having it on an empty stomach.
Maybe. And I also think, I'm on low flex, aren't I? So it might be different formulaics of medicines, maybe. Because I don't have as much illness when I have powdered cooler, but I do when I have low flex on its own. So we have... Oh, people are wondering if I was advised to take more protein substitute than prescribed. I was for my levels, more so than anything, because it's the quickest way of getting your levels down. But you can obviously go the other way, but it's that fine line.
Yeah.
You need it after swimming, according to your dad.
Yes. Oh my gosh. When I was swimming, it would be like, because obviously swimmers tend to have like a protein shake after swimming.
Yeah.
And my cooler would be that, basically the protein shake sort of thing, because it fills you up and, helps with repair and recovery and stuff. So that would be a massive thing. And I think that's partly why I went to 4 coolers, in cooler 15s, because especially when I was at school and I was swimming a lot more in the evening, I'd have one before swimming, after I'd had eaten some food, and then had one after, because I would just really, really need it.
Yeah, I think like your mum said, is like we've heard that some people do take it more when doing sport. I think physical exercise I don't know how much has been done into this, but I do find physical exercise does affect
Yeah, massively.
your ability. I feel like you can have more with when you're doing fit. So my exchanges have gone up.
Sorry about the clock. It's gonna do it 6 times, I think.
We'll have a moment's silence.
Yeah. God. Shouldn't have sat in this room.
I've found over the lockdown that because I'm doing more physical exercise and I'm having more time, then that's why my exchanges have gone up. So I do find that like you can have a bit more of allowance.
Yeah. And when I was swimming, I would definitely have more exchanges. Like my levels would go quite low, so I'd need more and more exchanges.
I think it's that balance of what you're doing, isn't it? It's whatever you're doing is balanced.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just like you're on 7 for life sort of thing. It depends on what you do. Thing about a night out, I don't normally drink alcoholic drinks, but do you guys... do you know if there are too many proteins in beverages? I stick to ciders and spirits.
Yeah, same.
Try and not mix either because it's not great. So I'll have a spirit evening or a cider evening. I don't drink much at all, but when I do, it's I don't like the smell of beer. I'm a bit.
I'd never drink beer.
It just off-puts me. If I want something that's social, it's cider because you nurse that a lot more than a spirit is a bit more like you're on a night out sort of thing.
Yeah.
So feel nauseous on them, supplement with empty stomach. You must have just become immune to it, Hannah. You're just used to it. So yeah, I think it's wine and spirits are okay. I'm not a big wine person, but I'm
no, neither.
But yeah, I think there's actually a fair bit of choice, and a lot of people now don't necessarily drink too much either. So it's
no.
You don't look too abnormal if you don't want to drink either.
Yeah.
But you did swimming quite intensely, didn't you? So you...
Yeah. I'm still swimming at uni, just not as intensely as I was when I was younger, sort of in my teens. I was swimming times a week, sometimes mornings, evenings.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you now swim for...
But now it's a lot less.
You swim now for fitness, I'm guessing, more than anything, or is
yeah, and just because I just like swimming. Like, it's my main... I've always swam, and I think now it's more for fitness. Yeah, I do the odd competition at uni, with the uni team, but it's just nice to do. It's just nice. Like, I just enjoy the sport.
What's your stroke of choice? Stroke of choice.
Front crawl butterfly is my stroke. Short distance if I was racing. I'm a sprinter, not a long distance swimmer.
No, butterfly is tiring.
Yeah, that's why it's a sprint. This is not long.
So we're talking what, 25 to 50 meters? Is it, or
50 to 100?
Okay,
it's a sprint. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done butterfly. Yeah, it's tiring. The legs more than anything. I can do the legs quite well, but then the coordination with the arms is just hard. So and then I guess let's see if there's any more questions. Where's like the place that you'd love to go in terms of travelling without any form of PKUing? What's the place that you...
Australia, I think. I'd love to go to Australia.
What's it about Australia?
I don't know. I've just always wanted to go over there. It's just always been a place I've wanted to... I mean, there's loads of places that I'd want to go to, but Australia, for some reason, is a place. It's just a very, very long flight, which I don't really like flying, but it's not a good combination, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair bit of a trek, isn't it?
Yes.
So, have you done any other sports, or is it just swimming? Have you always been attached to swimming?
At uni, I'm actually this year started doing some hockey as well. So I do hockey now, which Mum's pleased with.
What's your position?
Either mid or forward. I don't like defending. I'm really not. I don't like people running towards me. Like, it's quite intimidating.
You're the worst type of midfielder. If you just I don't want to defend, just leave them to defend.
I'm like forward, yeah. Yeah, that's been really fun because I've never really done. I've done other sports, especially when I was younger. I did tennis and lots of sports at school, dance, football, stuff like that. But I've never really. Swimming has taken up so much of my life, and it's so nice to do a different sport as well, and still swim, but just not as much, so that I can fit in other sports.
Yeah,
which is nice.
I've played hockey, mainly right back in defence. So that's why I'm like, I'd like someone to cover me, but obviously that's not you then, Hannah. If you're just like, no, my job is to score goals and that's it.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because I'm quite aggressive, so it's.
That's good then. Yeah. That's what you need.
Yeah, you need
for defence.
You need to have no fear in defence.
Yeah. And also the team that we play on, I'm not like part of the uni teams. It's like a subject squad, so it's like the psychology team, and it's mixed. So we play against, so it's boys and girls, and obviously if you've got a guy running towards you and you're in defence, it's scary.
And you're quite slight of frame too. You can't get your elbows out.
So yeah.
Have you? Because if you swim, then can you dive? In terms of diving, like underwater diving, have you ever done that?
I've never done that.
Have you not?
But I would like to. Yeah.
I've dove for 12 meters is the lowest I can do. And it's cool. It's really cool. It's a bit like claustrophobic when you start off.
See, that's what I would be. I'm not very good at that sort of, and also the massive tank on your back.
Yeah, and you haven't. It's all about regulating breathing. To be fair, it's not too. Once you've regulated your breathing, you're fine. We might have a lot of testing for how you feel with wearing all these masks outside, so you'll be perfectly fine then. With using the gas and air sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I would recommend it.
I would like to do it.
It's really cool to see different area and sort of underneath the ocean that you just don't see, isn't it? So, I think what we got. So what's your? I'm going to sound like, obviously I lecture at uni and I don't want to sound like I'm a lecturer. So what are your career goals in terms of after university, Hannah?
Well. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I am interested in doing further study. So maybe going on to do a master's. And then I think I do want to go sort of into clinical psychology or clinical neuropsychology. So that will involve more studying. But that's what I'm most interested in, I think, at the moment. And
is that because within your course at the moment you do a broad range and then you pick specialisms and stuff?
The first 2 years you do a set modules, and then third year I don't know what I'm doing yet. You have to rank them, and then they allocate them based on your rankings and stuff and your grades. But most of the ones I've chosen are very sort of brainy and neuroscience-y and stuff, so I'm kind of...
There's a theme without you realising there's a theme.
I'm kind of heading down that route, so... I think that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, that sounds like... I think it's quite interesting when you do those broad courses and then it's that's the thing that I'm really interested in. You don't realise it until you're on the course, in a sense, which I think is quite cool. Have we got any more questions? Let's have a look. You got any questions for me, Hannah? While we
don't think
we chat a lot anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
What's the one thing over lockdown that you've learned how to cook that you're most proudest of? That's not a question by the chat. That's a question by me.
I don't know. I mean, the pizza
because you've been cooking a lot. You've been cooking a lot.
Yeah, I haven't cooked something in a while, baked something in a while. I mean, the pizza that I did the other week, after you did your pizza, was good. That was really good. Because I never normally make the pizza base, so that was good. I've made banana bread I love banana bread.
Did you like banana bread before lockdown when it started to become the thing to make?
Yeah,
Or
I have always liked banana bread, but I hadn't made it in ages. And then when I saw everyone making it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll make some banana bread. Um, yeah.
see, I'd never made it before lockdown.
See,
And then
that's crazy.
everybody was like, oh, banana bread.
How have you not made
it?
it? Yeah.
As you probably, you could tell by my cooking streams, I just never cooked too much. So I was like, I need to start becoming adventurous. But it's time. It's like we're saying with the time element, isn't it?
And at uni, you don't always have much. There's always something else going on, and
unfortunately, when you come into like working life, it also doesn't stop. So it's like you come back from work and go, can I be bothered to make a banana bread for an hour?
Yeah. No.
But it's good skills to have. I would say, like, my advice for maybe if there's parents watching that are like, oh my god, my kid hasn't started cooking, it's just don't worry. Just keep cooking around her, and eventually it will happen.
Yeah.
In a sense, I think like there were so many. I don't know if you had in your clinics like loads of them trying to put you in cookery classes.
Yeah, I had a couple of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, just not. I wasn't that. I don't know. How did you find them? I didn't. I wasn't too bothered about
I only went to a few. I vaguely remember them when I was like really young, in sort of because I think I was at Evelina, and I remember them having like, I think it was even just like making biscuits and decorating biscuits. I just remember being in a hospital and finding it quite strange that I was decorating biscuits in a hospital. But yeah,
it doesn't lend itself, does it? No, it doesn't lend itself. So you are still London Clinic, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Or have you
am.
Moved up to the one opposite you?
I am moving. I think I'm moving to Manchester.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still at London at the moment. I think I had my last appointment in London. But yeah.
Wow. So why is it Salford you've chosen then?
Yes. Yeah.
So why Salford?
Well, I think mum recommend. Well,
you just want to go more north.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm up at uni as well, it won't be such a long travel. But yeah, I think it was sort of a combined decision, me and mum.
How like, you don't have to obviously go too much. How supportive was the London Clinic in terms of when did you do the transition from child to adult? Or
when I think I was quite late because I moved from a different clinic, and I can't remember which clinic I was. I was at Evelina, and then I moved to another clinic. So I moved quite late. I think I was like 18, 19. So not that long ago that I moved to the adult services. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds, to be fair, that's about the same age as me, because they were trying to construct the adult service.
Yeah.
So they were like, you're just going to keep turning up to the children's hospital.
Yeah.
Be around the beads that all kids play with, and I'm just like, this is too old for me. So, but yeah, I think it's. Do you go every year? Is it yearly for you?
I think it's 6 months.
In person.
Every 6 months.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think it is every 6 months.
If you delay it enough, I'm sure Caroline or Ned will pop up in the chat.
Yeah.
But it's 6 months. But to be fair, I know a few people that have been in the London thing that do have it every 6 months. So it's not too weird.
No.
In a sense.
Yeah.
But I only have every year. So
yeah.
It's but then you have the major blood test and stuff like that. How often do you do your bloods, and do you look weird when doing it at university?
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually do it at university. I would always come home because I just can't.
Can you not stab yourself?
I'm just not good with needles, and it's not even that big of a needle. It's just like a little prick, but yeah,
I completely understand.
I should probably do it more often than I do.
Can you do it? or is it just a you don't want to sort of thing?
I could do it, yeah, but I don't want to do it. So, yeah.
No, I didn't do my own blood tests until I left home and moved into my house.
Yeah.
And then I think for the first couple of months, or maybe even longer, I might be doing myself a disservice here. For the first couple of months, I used to travel home.
Yeah.
Like
this is me at uni. I'm like, Mum, I'm coming home to have my blood taken.
And my mum used to do the blood, and then she was like, "Do you not think it's time for you to get your own pack at your home?" And I was like, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's not even pain. Like, it's not that. It's just I don't know. I just can't bring myself to press the button. Like, I need someone else to do it because then it's out of my control. It's just that.
Why would I want to know?
No, exactly.
When I'm going to stab myself, because I'm going to know when. Yeah, but I had to have when I was a kid. I had play therapy to help me with my needle phobia, because I used to literally hide and all this sort of stuff when it came to
that was a lot worse for me then.
I don't want to have it. And then it got to the stage where I was 25 living in my house and going, oh, you've got to stab yourself now to take blood, and I'm like, I still don't want to do this.
No.
Like,
I mean, like getting blood tests as well, I'm just, I hold my arm out and I'm like, and the person's trying to talk to me and I can't concentrate because I'm concentrating on like not passing out or,
They try and be polite and make general chatter, and I'm like, I'm not here to talk.
I know.
Just take it out of my arm and I'll be off.
I'm so concentrating so much on just like trying not to feel it and look and
Did you ever have cream?
Numbing cream. Yeah. At the children's, we don't get that. I don't get it anymore.
No, neither do I. But I just I just remembered how good numbing cream was. Or
it was like a spray or something. Yeah.
Yeah. The spray.
Yeah.
I remember. It used to do wonders.
Yeah.
I've been stabbed. I didn't realise. No. Yeah. It's the thumb thing. I do it every week to every 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to just bite the bullet, but I still don't enjoy it.
No.
And I have to put on music, and it's really odd. I have to kind of
distract yourself.
Like an occasion sort of thing. Like put on a YouTube video and just be like, this person's talking. Oh no, I've happened to stab myself. Oh, I'll put it on the paper, and it's still not an enjoyable experience. But I'm glad that someone else is as weird. If you're as weird in the chat about needles, then let us know, because you can't really get away with it, sadly. So
I know, because whenever I'd go to clinic, it'd always be like, so are you doing your own yet? And I was always like, no. Like, why don't you just try? And I just
but then they
I'd rather not.
They try and do like, oh, that was it. I went to a clinic, and I think it was actually my last year or the year before, and they were like, so we've got a student here. We want you to demonstrate how you do your blood tests to them. And I was like, and they were like, you don't have to do it if you. I'm like, I don't want to do it then, because you did not warn me that I would have to stab myself in my hand and physically do it in front of people and make me look normal.
No.
And they were like, oh, that's a shame. And I was like, I'm sure other people will do it. It's the same premise. It's not, you're not missing out on much. But
they don't need to see you do it.
Like,
no,
I need to see this one patient do his. And I'm like, no. But it was so, that was like, caught me off surprise, and I was like, do people just do it on demand? I'm like, for me it's like, oh, I can't do it. So.
I think some people can just do it from a young age. They're just not bothered, and they're just,
You'll get there. You just have to go even more north, away from your family, that then the travel's worse, and then you'll have to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't worry about, like, literally, I had my mum doing it till I was 25, so it's don't worry about it. Just if you can do it every few times, then.
And I always say, well, what if you were doing it, Mum? Or what if you could you prick yourself? Like, Mum's, when I go to get a blood test, Mum's just as bad as me. Like, she's not even having the blood test done, and she's like,
but she's okay to do it to you. That's weird.
She can do the finger prick, but when I go for like a full-on blood test at the hospital, Mum is sometimes worse than me, and like goes all wobbly and shaky, because she can't even look at me getting my blood taken.
That's a great support
Yeah. She doesn't come in with me anymore because I just think it's not worth it.
Well,
if she's gonna go.
Talking about needles, I got taken as support. Bearing in mind what we've just talked about, as support to a tattoo parlour for my mate to get his tattoo, and I was like, me as support.
Yeah.
I can't watch films with needles. I can, but I have to look away.
Yeah.
And I'm being taken to a tattoo parlour to watch a person get tattooed for an hour. I'm like, ugh.
No.
So
No.
I'm just like, you're doing great. Looking away, just like I'm physically here, but mentally I'm somewhere else right now. So do you guys know any place to go to get cooking lessons with PKU? I did one with my dietitian, but it was rice and veggies, but I would like to know how to bake. I think I don't know. For me, the dietitian stuff is good. I have to say that. But I think if you try and... Obviously, you've got loads of people doing cooking demonstrations now, which is really useful. So you've got all the companies do cooking demonstrations. I do some weird cooking demonstrations. But I do think if you choose to do it yourself and you want to do it yourself, then that's going to last a lot longer than if you're forced in a hospital gathering sort of thing and told to cook. That's a bit strange. I don't know. How have you found with your what encourages?
I mean, I did have one session with my dietitian, like 1-to-1, and she had come up she had some recipes ready, and we did some cooking in this kitchen in the hospital, and that was actually really good. And that was like in preparation before I went to uni. So that was good. But apart from that, it's just looking up recipes myself, really, and just experimenting myself.
Yeah, I think what lockdown's brought at least is a lot of I know that Movelia do them, Vitaflow do them with Chef Neil and stuff, and obviously I've started to do weird live streams and stuff, and I think it's just that once you see people doing it and see the results, then you're like, actually this can be done quite well. Sometimes I find the books are quite daunting to start off with, like the recipe books, because you're like, can I ever achieve that? Don't know, sort of thing. Your auntie is in the chat, but obviously Hannah can't see the chat, so this is why so she's saying hello, but I'm like, oh, there you go. Your dad testifies saying my demos online are good. Yeah, I make mistakes, and that's probably a good thing. To be fair, that's what they say though, don't they? With learning language and stuff, you need to hear people make mistakes to learn how to actually do it. So that's what I keep conning myself into thinking. Yeah, there's a Movelia cooking demo. I think it was this morning, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with the cooking thing, with just seeing people do it is sometimes
and
quite
conferences, obviously.
Conferences, yeah.
Wow.
I was surprised with the speed.
They do the demos.
The speed in the demos and the conferences. I'm like,
yeah. It's like they have it all prepared though, ready, don't they? Like all chopped up and.
Yeah, the conferences are good to because I didn't go to the last one, but the one that I went before had people having rival cooking things, and we just floated, didn't we, round? It was quite strange in that sense of like, oh, this person's cooking a pancake, this person's doing this, and like veg sushi, which I'd never considered.
Oh yeah,
so I think
that was amazing. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, I've never had sushi, so yeah.
No.
But yeah, so just have a research really on the groups, on the Facebook groups. Everybody posts about cooking, so that's, you can't really escape people eating, sadly, on that sort of thing. But I would also say don't force it. It has to be a thing that you want to do, rather than a thing that you feel like you should do. I think that's probably what you're testifying with uni is you've built your experience as you've wanted to learn, in a sense. In terms of, have we got any more? Is there anything else that you'd want to cover, Hannah?
I don't think so.
Someone said my dream job is doing a documentary on tattooing. It really isn't. I've had to edit a video for the NHS that was about cannulas, which are needle injections including very close-up shots on arms with needles. It's the hardest edit I've ever done. It wasn't great, but it was the hardest edit. I think just when you watch these chefs and stuff, just don't judge yourself against them. That's their professional job. It's kind of why I did my cooking stream, because I was like, I can never be as good as these people, but at least I can give it a go. Don't judge yourself, really. I think as long as for me, anything that I make tastes good because I've made it. Unless it's really terrible, but it's like you kind of force yourself to eat it because you've made it. I don't know. Do you do that? Do you do that, Hannah?
No, I know. I know what you mean. And like if you make it and then you freeze some of it, and you've just got to remind yourself to have it, like, because once it's in the freezer, sometimes you forget that it's there. Yeah. So you just remind yourself that, oh yeah, I've made this, I can have that.
So what's your ideal at home meal then? If we're talking dinner, exchanges, whatever you want them to be, what would you say is your dinner of choice?
I like lasagna.
I've never.
I think I just really like pasta. So anything like pasta bake or lasagna or anything like that. What else?
Do you use the sheets and stuff with lasagna?
Yeah, the low profile ones I use. Yeah.
I've never made lasagna.
Oh, that's really good. It just takes a while.
Is it worth it?
That's why
it's
good to have at home though, because I wouldn't have time to do it at uni unless I was like making a massive one, and then I could freeze it and like do like a big batch cook of lasagna.
That'd be a lot of lasagna.
Yeah.
So pasta based stuff.
Yeah.
If we're talking non-prescription based products, what would you have?
I like obviously jackfruit, or like in the summer when we have barbecues, like barbecue kebab, like the vegetable kebabs, like when you put peppers and mushrooms and stuff, and anything. Just I like lots of different types of salad, like trying different things in salads, because salads can be quite boring. Yeah. But if you add different things to it, even like fruit and like adding apple to salads and stuff like that, it just makes it so much more interesting, especially in the summer.
What other fruits have you had on salad? Because I've had grapes and oranges on salad.
Oranges, grapes.
It's weird.
I like it.
It's like
weird, but
I'd never had it before, and then I went to someone's house and they were like, "Do you have grapes or oranges on your salad?" I'm like,
"Yeah, no, it's nice.
I've never heard of this." So. But it's nice. Yeah. It's nice and refreshing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because salad can get boring, but if you add, try different things and add different ingredients and stuff like that, it's a bit more exciting.
And I guess have we got anything else? Yeah, salads can be. I really like salads abroad, but less when here. I don't know. It must be just the sea air that I appreciate. And I guess I don't know if there's any other questions. Yeah, there was cookery things. Let me just check if I've got anything else. Any comments on mental health, resilience and tips? Any coping mechanisms or strategies that you find reliable? If you hadn't realised by now, that's a Suzanne-based question, of course. Oh. So we better be on our best behaviour.
Yeah, I don't know. Like mental health as in to do with PKU?
I'd say we'll do general and then we'll do PKU, really, because I think mental health isn't necessarily always attached to PKU. But
general, I think for me, definitely like keeping busy. The clock's going to chime again, sorry. There we go.
So well planned. So well.
Keeping busy, like not having, always having something to do, or knowing that you're going to do something that day. I find if I stop, if I'm not doing much, it gives me more time to think and like in a sense worry about all the unnecessary worries and stuff like that. So like keeping busy, like chatting to people, just even like now, because obviously everything's sort of online, like ringing up friends and stuff. Keeping your mind busy and active, I think, is the best thing to do, to take your mind off anything that you might be like over stressing about or worrying about. Um,
Cool.
yeah.
And how do you? I guess then we'll go on to the how do you? You say you always have like a positive mindset with PKU and stuff like
Yeah.
that. How do you maintain that, and how do you stop like not the negativity set in, but like get you away from that side? Because it can get people.
It can,
down,
yeah.
can't it?
I do
So,
have like I have the odd day where I'm just so like I have no sort of inspiration food wise. Like I'm just so bored of what I'm eating. I'm just like this is just so boring. I want something different, you know, because there's only so much we can eat. Um, so I think that's sort of it's a way of dealing with it, but it sort of passes. It's sort of I think also if my levels aren't good, that can make me feel worse about myself
yeah.
and makes me dwell on it a bit more. So if I keep my levels okay, yeah, I think the same thing of just trying to keep busy and trying to come up with exciting things to eat. Like it, you know, not to have the same thing every day and trying new foods. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do, really.
And I'd echo that with in terms of like, for me, it's having a strong support network
Yeah,
around you, and that support network can consist of family or friends or just people that, for me, can really tell me like it is.
yeah,
You know, in terms of like they're there for some reason or they're there to like benefit themselves or whatever. Friends, family. I do a lot of like yoga and stuff now, because I realise that I spend a lot of time looking at screens, and not enough time actually just like you said being in your own head in a
yeah.
sense sometimes. And yeah, I think what was I can't remember what Suzanne's original question was now.
Mental health.
Mental
I think.
health coping strategies, reaching out for me, I think
Yeah,
is a big thing. Understanding that mental health is a spectrum, that it doesn't necessarily go anywhere. It's just about
no,
becoming better with coping or that sort of thing. But also understanding that you do have low days and just writing that off and going on. I
yeah,
do think your levels make you far more irrational with thoughts, because I feel like if you're running high levels and trying to cope with your mental health too much, that then you're almost on a road to nothing to a degree, because you're not giving yourself the best shot in a sense
yeah,
with it. And I guess for me, how do I cope with being positive about PKU? The honest thing is I try and just listen to people that are positive about it, because I feel like similar case and example is if I watch the news too much now, everything's so negative that you're like,
yeah,
I come out feeling negative. I think it's sometimes you need things that question how you feel, but also reinforce what you think. And I think with the PKU element, that's probably why I'm not necessarily the most active sometimes on the groups and stuff. Is just you gotta keep yourself to yourself and go, this is what, you know.
yeah,
If I'm positive, I'm feeling positive. I should stick to being positive, rather than you know. I've always thought there's far worse things that you could have.
yeah. That's what I was going to say. I always thought that there's so much worse out there. Like, then I know PKU is hard, but there's definitely worse situations and worse conditions than what we have. So we have to be grateful in that sense.
Yeah, and I think it's sometimes hard to see that when
Yeah,
you're like sorry, running high levels or feeling like it's really terrible or that sort of thing, and it is very hard. But then for me, I've never had any like no jobs because of this, or people like don't want to know you because of this, or anything like that. Whereas, and I used it when we were talking with Killian, is if I was physically missing something, you'd think I won't be able to do certain things. Whereas like you can swim, and people won't know that you're swimming around with a ropey liver, sort of thing. It's like, but if you had like a missing leg or something, people think you couldn't do it in a sense. And I think it's oh, you've gone really small. I think it's that. I think it's that kind of that thinking that sadly, sometimes just seeing that things are not as bad as they are, but also some people do struggle and reaching that out, and it's tough. But I think the positive mindset certainly does help. With it. So we've got one more question, and then I will let you go. Because what's for dinner? What is for dinner tonight for you?
I think I'm having like potato wedgies as my exchanges. Ooh. And then a fate like burger type thing that my mum made a couple of weeks ago. They're in the freezer. And then some veg, probably some broccoli, mushrooms, something like that.
So you're not cooking tonight then?
No, Dad's cooking.
But someone said that. Oh God, you keep getting big and small. Don't worry, you don't know what I'm on about, but it's fine. No. Levels of mental health and well-being are intertwined. Very much so. I think it's very hard, and well, fair play to you if you have a great mental health system, but you still run high levels. I think that's really hard to do. But it's about a progress and a spectrum, isn't it? Really.
Because I think when my levels are high, I get very anxious, like extremely anxious, and I think that's what in a way motivates me to stay low with my levels, because I know that I don't want to be in that state of extreme anxiety. So because I have been there in the past and I know what it's like, so I don't ever want to be at that point. So I'm sort of motivated to stay, have low levels and do anything I can to make sure that stays like that. And
it's like what we're saying about you don't ever want bad things to become your norm.
No,
in a sense. So it is about that reactive and trying to do let's do this sort of thing. Dating and stuff. Have you done dating a normal person or non-PKU person?
I've never really dated. I think partly because of swimming.
Because you're a strong, independent woman.
Partly because of swimming. I was always swimming. So a lot of the time, even after school and stuff, I would be going straight home, having dinner, getting ready for swimming, going swimming in the evening. And then with uni, it's just, I just have such a good group of friends, and I think at the moment it's just not something I really want to focus on as much. So I don't really have any. Do you
view it differently with your PKU in terms of approaching people with that, even if it hasn't happened, or
I think
because friends and relationships can be quite different, can't they, in the sense of how PKU is perceived or something like that.
I think I do in the back of my head. It's not a worry, it's just a sort of I wonder what they'd think sort of thing about and going out for a meal and stuff like that. But I couldn't really comment on that.
Just knocked my bottle over. I think it's I think for me it's that you have to take a little bit of risks with people. In terms of giving people a chance with learning the condition. Most of the time, obviously I'm a bit further along the line with my age, but most of the time everybody's fine with it, and everybody's I view them no different to friends in a sense. If you have long-term friends, then a relationship is no different. If anything, they should just care a bit more, because they're that closest element to yourself. But yeah, eating out and stuff, I think I always try and get that done quite quickly in the process of courting or dating or whatever you want, like, you know, in the prelims of when you're getting to know someone.
Yeah.
Just so then it doesn't become an issue. And you're just like, this is me, I'm going away. Do you get annoyed? Great. You're not right for me. Sort of thing. Because like there's certain things that you can change about yourself, or there's certain things that you adapt, but you condition you can't. So it's they need to fit in with that support network that you already have. Like you said, you've got a close set of friends, haven't you, in a sense. Someone says, do you have jokes? Yeah, jokes are amazing. Like I have people crack more jokes at me about my condition because I've cracked jokes at them about it. So it's it really breaks the ice with anybody, I find, with that. If you take it too seriously, then they'll view it as serious and they'll get a bit scared. I don't know if you find that.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So like, did you pick your house, like your hallmates? Because obviously you wouldn't pick them, would you? So how did you?
So that was random.
How did you?
But
how did you broach that?
But what was good about that is that my condition sort of broke, as you said, like broke the ice for us all. It started a conversation, like it was something to talk about, because obviously that's quite a hard thing to, like, you know, when you first meet new people, having something to talk about. What should we talk about? Well, let's just talk about my condition and why I'm drinking a smelly drink. So that was quite good, and obviously they found out straight away. So as soon as they knew, they would just, you know, that you'd get the odd question, but after that they would just get on with their own stuff. And
it's inquisitive, you know. Isn't it? It's not like, oh my god, you're weird sort of thing. It's like, I want to know about it kind of thing, rather than
they're interested. That's why they're asking the questions, not they think it's strange because they've never heard of it.
Because we're so damn unique. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, did it last for a couple of weeks then? Every time you used to bring out new things and stuff, or was it just a one time? Yeah. Let's sit you down, guys. This is PKU.
Yeah, it was that. But then throughout the year, there'd be the odd question. It was like a question would just come to them, and they'd be like, "So what about this food?" Or "So what about this?" And you know, it just start up again because there's just so many questions that people could ask.
Yeah, I think I find it's scenario based, isn't it? So it's like when you're in a different scenario with them, then they're like, "I'll ask this." Or when it's a different type of food, it's like, and I have loads of like, can you have this? Can you have this? And it's like,
that's the same.
It's far easier to tell you what I can't have.
Yeah, that's what I tend to say. I say, you know, I can't eat meat, fish, dairy, all that sort of stuff. So, pasta, rice.
But you can have a lot of pasta, but you need it on through the NHS.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they ask questions. You get food through prescription, like, that's odd. But
a lot of my friends think it's just a cheap way of getting loads of food, because they're like, "What, you pay £10 a month?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I pay £10 a month." And they're like, "I don't think I probably have more than £10 a month on my food. Like that's the equivalent." And I'm like, "It's not out of cheapness. It's I need this." They're like,
it's a necessity.
It's like, oh my god, it's so cheap. And then you tell them the prices of the products, and they're like, "How much?" And you're like, "Yeah." It's there's a lot. So it's quite. I always play it off as a fun thing, and I think then they view it as because you never want someone to think, "Oh my god, I don't need to. I shouldn't know this person," or a bit scared, or that sort of thing. And that's unfortunate if that happens. But then, thankfully, that's a good red flag to try and avoid them. Are there any other final questions in the chat? We'll give them a little bit of time. But you know, it's I think it's useful because I don't know how you found what the conditions like now when you were like 10 or growing up or that sort of thing. There's a lot of choice now, I find. Than when
a lot more
when we were younger, sort of thing. And I think that can only help. It can only help that more people are getting more allergies, because then we don't look as odd, in a sense. So.
And asking when you're out and asking for specific things off the menu is not it's not uncommon. Like a lot of people do that now.
Yeah, I think maybe some people don't put themselves in the scenarios that they see other people do that, but like it does happen, and that's not just because PKU people, but like gluten or vegans, or like if you're intolerant to things, you know, the waiters are there to answer those questions, isn't it? So
Yeah.
But it does take confidence, and I think if you struggle with that confidence, then it is about maybe your thought process about that. Yeah, I think that's kind of it then. We've talked for an hour and 40. See, it weren't too bad, was it?
Yeah, fine.
Right, so everybody in the chat and Hannah's family and all the people that have joined us today, thank you. If you have any other comments, you can put it in the main chat that's going to be probably underneath this video. But yeah, and you can find Hannah on Twitter. Is your main...
Yeah.
What's your Twitter, if you want to shout out your Twitter?
I think it's Hannah Maud B. I think.
And that's, how do you spell
Is
the
my
Maud?
username?
Just so people...
Maud. M-A-U-D.
Yeah, and then B. Yeah.
B.
You'll find it also if you follow the NSPKU and they retweet us a few times. Thank you, Suzanne. But yeah, so if you have any questions, you can find us on there. But yeah, cheers for your time. Have a good Saturday evening, people. And I will be cooking tomorrow if people want to watch me try and do apple muffins, which I've never tried. Still haven't tried. Maybe I should try them tonight. Maybe. And waffles in my waffle maker, which I've never tried again. So this could be good. If anything, I'll always say it's good. So yeah, if I don't see you there, have a great rest of the Saturday. Thank you, guys.